Manchester is red. What's going on, guys? Welcome back for another episode of Just United. And on Saturday, it was, of course, Manchester United that came away with all the spoils, the 3 points and all the bragging rights in the derby, or I should call it the destruction derby against City, as the final score was 4-2 to Manchester United. United are in the form of their life at the moment. It's phenomenal. It's great being a United fan going into the last bit of the season, picking up some fantastic results. I mean, going back a couple of weeks when we looked ahead to the fixtures that we got coming up, everyone was saying, oh, you know what, it's going to be tough for United. They've got Tottenham, could be difficult at Old Trafford. Then they've got to play Liverpool away at Anfield. That's going to be difficult because at the time Liverpool, they were on a bit of an unbeaten run and they were starting to get into their groove. Same goes for Villa. They just had a new manager in Tim Sherwood. They started scoring, and then City. There were just so many doubters at the time. We had the media, and we also had the pundits on Sky Sports and BT and so on, thinking that United weren't going to really come out on top of this, but here we are. We've picked up maximum points in 5 games. 15 points in 5 games. That's tremendous. And with that win against City, we're now 4 points above last season's champions in the league. We're in 3rd. So a place in the Champions League for next season is certainly looking likely. Now, going into the Manchester derby then on Sunday, City were attempting to recover from a run of defeats against Liverpool, against Palace, and also Burnley a couple of weeks ago. Now, City, they went into this game firing on all cylinders, and they scored the opening goal. It came from Sergio Aguero. It was certainly a shock to the system for Manchester United, because it was scored within the first, 4 or 5 minutes? And City were just outplaying us, and I thought, you know, this is going to be a bad day. If they're scoring so early on in this game, we could have a repeat of that fixture a couple of years ago in the derby, but we'll forget about that. That's in the past. But I did think it was going to be difficult to watch as a United fan with them scoring that goal so early on in the game. But it all went downhill for City after that early goal, as it would be Ashley Young getting the equaliser. It was a pretty decent finish. I know Joe Hart was off his goal. It was there for the taking, and he made sure that he put the ball into the back of the net. Otherwise, I think the whole of the Old Trafford crowd would have been on his back for the rest of the game. But Young didn't stop there. He was the provider of the second goal for Manchester United. We went ahead after 27 minutes. His cross dropping over Clichy at the far post for Fellaini to head past Hart. It was the perfect man in the perfect place. It was the revitalised Marouane Fellaini. It just had to be Fellaini, didn't it? I mean, it's so good to see that. I mean, after all the stick that he got off United fans and also fans of other teams last season because he was poor and Moyes wasn't utilising him that well in the United side, and he was slated at the start of this season as well. But you know what? Van Gaal stuck with him after there was so many rumours that Fellaini could be another player that's on his way out of Old Trafford. But Van Gaal stuck with him, and look where we are today. I'm just so glad that we didn't make such a rash decision to get rid of him. And I'm glad he's still in the side today, and it's good to see that Fellaini has fought as well himself to make sure that he always gets a spot in the first team. Also, in the first half, before we move on to the second, there was a bit of controversy. It was City's captain, Vincent Kompany, that went in with a late challenge on Daley Blind. Now, Mark Clattenburg gave him a yellow for that challenge, and I was very surprised whilst watching the game at the time. I thought it should have been a red card. I mean, his boots were up, the studs were showing, and he went into Daley Blind's ankle. And you can see, if you go and watch the replay, Blind went flying. Should have been a red card, should have been sent off for that. City should have been at the disadvantage of being down to 10 men come the second half. Come the second half, though, Pellegrini did make the decision to take off his captain and replace him with Mangala. So a pretty wise decision from Pellegrini, with him being on a yellow card and it being a physical game. He might have been sent off in the second half. Plus, I think he had a slight injury, so that's why he took him off. Come the second half then, in the 67th minute, it'd be Juan Mata. There is only Juan Mata who made it 3-1 to Manchester United. The game certainly out of reach of Man City at this point, I thought. It was Rooney's perfect reverse pass that released Mata, who went on to beat Joe Hart one-on-one with him at such a tight angle. It was a nice goal from Mata, who just can't stop scoring at the moment. It's brilliant. And I hope he keeps up with this form going into the game this weekend against Chelsea, against his former side. And I think I'm right in saying that this is the first time Mata has played against Chelsea since signing for Manchester United. So it should be interesting to see how he gets on there. Now, the Manchester derby got even uglier for Pellegrini's City, as it would be an unmarked Chris Smalling who headed the ball into the back of the net after an Ashley Young free kick. And I think that was where we saw the shot of Pellegrini hiding behind the wall of the dugout. United, at that point, were running away with the game, and I wanted more as a United fan. I wanted to see United go on and score maybe another 2 goals. Let's make it 6-1. Let's absolutely destroy City here today. But it wasn't to be. Aguero did go and get another goal back for City, making it 4-2, but it can't count as anything approaching consolation. It was a dismal day for Man City, and a day of pure delight for Manchester United and us as fans. It was the perfect way to round off a nice weekend. Up next then, for the mighty Manchester United, is title favourites Chelsea, who are in a pretty strong position at the moment, although they do have us and Arsenal following close behind. But Chelsea do have a game in hand, which I think is to be played away against Leicester in a couple of weeks' time. But before that, and I tell you what, if we can beat Chelsea on Saturday, if we come away with 3 points at Stamford Bridge, the title picture could be blown wide open, because they've got to play Arsenal after us, Chelsea have. And that's away at the Emirates. So if Arsenal, the form they're in at the moment, if they can get 3 points against Chelsea, we could be in for a fantastic end to this season's Premier League. One that we've never witnessed before. It's going to be so exciting. I can't wait to see what happens. I'm really looking forward to the game on Saturday as a United fan. And we have every right to go into this game feeling positive, because Chelsea's last game against QPR at Loftus Road, the West London derby, yes, it ended 1-0 to Chelsea, and that's the games Chelsea need to be winning if they want to be lifting the title at the end of the season. But I watched that game, and Chelsea were poor. We had to wait till the 88th minute until we saw the first goal, which was the only goal which came from Cesc Fabregas. Yes, they were without Diego Costa, who's been their top goal scorer this season. They had to go with Drogba up front for the whole 90 minutes. I mean, for a 34-year-old as a striker, it's going to be difficult. Yes, the skill may be there, but the legs, not so much anymore. QPR was so unfortunate in that game. They deserve something, whether it be a draw or even a win against Chelsea. I kind of felt sorry for them and Chris Ramsey, because they did a very good job on Sunday in the West London derby. And you know what? I think if Chelsea play like that, I know it's going to be different because they're going to be at home, they're going to be at Stamford Bridge and everything. We know their record there. But if they play like that, and if they're going to be without Diego Costa as well for this game, which I highly doubt, I know he'll be fit for the game against United. It's just inevitable, really. But let's just say Chelsea continue performing like they did against QPR, then I can see us getting the result that we want in the way of 3 points this Saturday at Stamford Bridge. And just like Gary Neville said earlier this week, that yes, it's going to be a tough task for United going to Stamford Bridge and playing Chelsea, but they can beat anyone at the moment, the form that they are in. I'm feeling confident then going into this game against the title favourites Chelsea this Saturday. How about you guys? Let me know in the comments below. And finally, for my team prediction to take on Chelsea this Saturday, I'm going to miss out on it again this week, because I strongly believe that Van Gaal, and I'm sure he will, should keep that consistency going. He should stick with the same team that's gone through City, that's gone through Liverpool. If he does, then I'm confident that United can get the result that they want this Saturday at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea. Anyway guys, that's going to be it from me for this episode of Just United. Hope that you've all enjoyed. If you haven't already, be sure to come and follow me on both Facebook and Twitter. The links can be found in the description below. And there we go. I'll see you guys in the next edition. Thanks for watching.